Good morning, good afternoon and good evening everyone. My name is Liam, your coach of the West Ham United team, and welcome back to the Pokemon Premier League week... I don't know what week we're on. 6, 7, week 5 even? No, it's week 6. It's week 6 this week. Welcome back to week 6 of the Pokemon Premier League. Last week there was no battle because we had a break week, because some people were behind with their uploads and battles and stuff, so we had a break. This week we're back, we're rejuvenized, we're re-energized after losing 1-0 to Eric last week. I don't want to lose 2 games in a row at all this season, because I feel like as soon as I lose 2 games in a row, then that's it. It starts going downhill and just start picking up more and more losses. So, looking to get that win back, especially since this week we are going against the Birmingham Sprtizee, coached by a good friend of mine, Onesie Baynet, aka Alex. If you follow the PPL, you know that me and Alex have battled twice in the past, and twice Alex has beaten me. So he is 2-0 up on me. I cannot afford for him to go 3-0 up on me. So really looking to win this one. Looking to win every one, to be honest. But this one in particular has got a certain thing about it of I just don't want to lose again. So let's go over Alex's team. The aforementioned Birmingham Sprtizee. They have Tapu Koko as an attacking Z user. They have Landorus Incarnate version as an attacking Zmon user. But he cannot have Sheer Force on that Landorus Incarnate. That's a very important part. It cannot be Sheer Force. It has to have its other ability that I can't think of off the top of my head. But it can't be Sheer Force. Mega Scizor, which is just his Mega. I don't know why I was struggling on that. Latias, Gigalith, Stoutland, Silvally as his anything Zmon user, Mantine, and Hariyama. So, yeah. He has a pretty good team. He has a sand team, as you guys can see. Latias is always a problem to face. Mega Scizor is something that, as a person, I generally struggle facing. I don't like facing Mega Scizor. I don't think I've ever beaten a Mega Scizor in Draft League format that I can think of. Pretty sure the first season I faced it, Shroom Raver had it and I lost to him. And then the second season, under the radar, Kelly had it and I lost to him. So I've never beaten a Mega Scizor in Draft League format. But, as always, we have put together a team to beat Alex. So let's have a look at said team. And, as you can see, leading the charge this week. She doesn't lead the charge very often, but this week she is. We have Cavity, our Aromatisse, with Reflect, Light Screen, Endeavour and Magic Coat. Aroma Veil, holding the Light Clay. She has 252 HP, 220 Defense and 36 Speed. And she has a Bold Nature with 0 IVs in attack. She has enough speed to speed creep a speed creeping Gigalith. So if he has a Gigalith that's trying to speed creep me, I have enough speed to outspeed him. Pretty much. So he'd have to have more speed creep than my speed creep to speed creep me, which does get confusing further down the line. There you go. Reflect, Light Screen, Endeavour, Magic Coat. This is a suicide lead Aromatisse. I basically get up screens and let this thing die, because I really think he's going to lead off with the Gigalith to potentially get the sand up and get rocks up because of my Salamence and Weavile. Weavile does good against his team because he has the Latias and he has the Lando. Weavile also can just get Ice Shard damage off on a lot of different things. The only thing it doesn't really beat, obviously, is Hariyama. And then Salamence, also a good thing to have rocks up. Salamence is probably a pretty obvious bring for me this week as well, so I feel like he'll really want the rocks up. So I can start off with my Aromatisse, which is when I go for the Magic Coat to bounce back his rocks. And then when he goes for rocks again, I can set up my screens. And then I can Endeavour as hopefully he tries to hit me. That's the plan for Aromatisse. She is just a suicide lead, but she's going to do it so well. But she is setting up screens for this man, Tommy, our Salamence, with Earthquake, Dragon Claw, Fire Fang, and Dragon Dance with the Moxie ability this week, holding the Groundium Z. Salamence has 36 HP, 252 attack, 12 defense, 4 special defense, and 204 speed, and he is an adamant nature this week. Salamence has... Salamence has enough speed after 2 Dragon Dances to outspeed a Jolly Stoutland in the sand if he has Sand Rush, pretty much. So that's the plan. The plan is for Aromatisse to set up screens, Aromatisse to then die before the screens go down. I bring in Salamence, get a Dragon Dance up, hopefully be able to get 2 Dragon Dances up. If I just get 1, it's not the worst thing in the world, because Salamence is here to punch walls this week with the Moxie ability as well. I'm here to punch walls with Salamence. Earthquake is there to hit the Gigalith for super effective damage, is there to hit the Tapu Koko. Dragon Claw is there for most other things, and Fire Fang is there for the Mega Scizor. I feel like I can Dragon Dance up on the Hariyama. If he is Adamant Choice Band and I am behind a Reflect, then Ice Punch is doing at max 75%. So he'd need absolute max roll after rocks to kill me. Mantine, I can take an Ice Beam as well if the light screen is still up. I can take an Ice move from pretty much anyone. I'm not sure if I could take a Draco from Latias. Probably could, to be honest. And I probably could take a HP Ice from Tapu Koko, potentially, maybe not, I don't know. But the plan is for Salamence to get some Dragon Dances up and then punch holes in his team to set up the way for something else. And the Groundium Z is there to take out the Gigalith in a big hit, because I think after 1 Dragon Dance there is the chance that he can still live an Earthquake. So I put the Groundium Z on there so I can definitely get the Moxie boost off of Gigalith at least. Next up we have Jerry, the Electivire, with Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, Earthquake and Fire Punch, getting all the punches this time with Motor Drive ability, 252 in attack, 4 in special defense and 252 in speed, and he is a jolly nature. Its speed ties with Silvally. Choice Scarf, because I think he could potentially bring a Choice Scarf Silvally. Choice Scarf also so I can try to outspeed the Lando. Thunder Punch is there to hit the Mantine and its stab, obviously. Ice Punch is there to hit the Lando. It's also there to hit the Latias. And Earthquake is there to hit Tapu Koko that comes in. Also hits Scizor if it switches in, but Thunder Punch does that as well. Fire Punch is there definitely for the Scizor. Hariyama gets hit by all of them, barring Ice Punch. It's a decent time. I was considering bringing Cross Chop just to hit the Silvally, but then totally remembered that Silvally could be any type, so Cross Chop didn't really warrant coming over Earthquake as well, as Earthquake hit Gigalith. Cross Chop also hit Gigalith, but then you got the chance to miss, so Earthquake was just a better option here. Next up we have Hacha, the formerly known as Horang. He is now Hacha, the Hitmonlee, with High Jump Kick, Blaze Kick, Earthquake and Knockoff, Unburden with the Electric Seed. Where's my Hitmonlee set? There it is. With 12 HP, 252 attack, 36 defense, 4 special defense and 204 speed. He is an Adamant nature as well. When Unburden activates, it will be enough to outspeed an Adamant Sandrush Stoutland. So there's no way for me to outspeed the Jolly Stoutland, so I just had to try and outspeed the Adamant one. Electric Seed gives me +1 defense if Hitmonlee is out when the electric terrain is up. Yeah, just give me +1 defense, so I get my Unburden boost off that. I can do that if the electric terrain is up, potentially on a Hariyama, if Hariyama is low. High Jump Kick is going to be hitting the Gigalith, and it's still High Jump Kick, so it's still going to be doing pretty good damage to things like Lando and Tapu Koko and Mantine. Blaze Kick is there to hit the Mega Scizor that might want to switch into a High Jump Kick. I don't think he would, but it's there just in case, and just there for sweep potential. Earthquake is there for the Gigalith, and there to hit things for neutral, like the Scizor as well, in case I don't want to risk missing the Blaze Kick. And Knockoff is there for the Latias. Even though I expect him to have Colbur Berry, still nice to have the Knockoff there as well. Earthquake also there for the Tapu Koko, I should have mentioned. Next up we have Gemini, our Starmie with Hydro Pump. I know I'm bringing Hydro Pump again, sue me. It had to come this week. Hydro Pump had to come. Hydro Pump, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam and Psychic with Analytic Life Orb. 28 HP, 4 defense, 252 special attack, 4 special defense and 220 speed. Timid nature. Enough to outspeed a Latias. Enough to outspeed a timid natured Latias. This is the interesting fact. This is the first time I've brought Psychic Stab on my Starmie. 6 weeks in and I haven't brought a Psychic move on Starmie once, I'm pretty sure. I don't think I've clicked a Psychic move on Starmie once either. Hydro Pump was needed for the extra damage on the on the Gigalith. That gets the Spadef boost in the Sandstorm. Analytic boosted Life Orb boosted Hydro Pump is going to do a lot of damage to everything, even a Latias unless it's Assault Vest. Thunderbolt is there to hit the Mantine for super effective. I don't think he'd be Whack-a-Berry on Mantine, that'd be a bit odd, because Thunderbolt would still be doing a lot of damage. Ice Beam is there to hit the Lando, Psychic is there to hit the Hariyama. Hydro Pump hits most other things, to be honest. Not much to say about Starmie, just Starmie comes in and hits things. And next up we have Seismitoad BBW with 196 HP, 252 attack, 4 defense, 4 special defense and 52 speed. A naughty nature this week with Earthquake, Earthquake, Ice Punch, Hydro Pump and Rain Dance with Swift Swim and Life Orb. Seismitoad, when the rain is up, will outspeed a timid Tapu Koko, and if the rain isn't up, it will outspeed a Hariyama. Yeah, it'll outspeed a Hariyama who's trying to outspeed my Heatran if Heatran has no speed in it. Which is very weird. It's very, very convoluted, very odd. But there's so much speed game in it this week with the amount of Sand Rush Pokemon he has. And it was just like crazy speed creeping went into this one. So shout outs to DJ for helping with that. But Seismitoad can actually put in some decent work here if I can get the Rain Dance up. If Gigalith goes down, Rain Dance comes up. Then I outspeed most things. Earthquake is going to be doing a lot of damage to Tapu Koko. Hydro Pump's going to be doing a lot of damage to other stuff. And Ice Punch doing a lot to Latias. And with the rain up, my Seismitoad can outspeed pretty much everything on his team, barring if anything is scarfed. So Seismitoad can put in the work here and be a potential sneaky late game sweeper if he thinks I'm going to set up rocks and instead I set up Rain Dance for a turn. And then I end up with a Life Orb boosted Seismitoad that's outspeeding his whole team. So it could be a sneaky late game sweeper in there. So I have pretty much 4 late game sweepers. I have 1 wall. I have 1 wall this week and then 5 late game sweepers, which is why Salamence is playing the role of wall puncher. Punching walls, putting in damage, and then something else comes in and hopefully picks it up, whether that be Seismitoad or Hitmonlee. Starmie's another wall punching Pokemon pretty much, or Electivire even. But Electivire Choice Scarf limits its sweeping potential. But that's the team that's going to face Alex. So hopefully we can pick up the win here. Like I said, we lost last week and Alex has beat us 2 weeks in a row. Oh, not 2 weeks in a row. Alex beat us twice before. So let's pass it over or hand it over to Battle Liam, however you want to say it. And let's get this party started. Okay, so as you can see on the battle, we have brought our team, and Alex has brought the Gigalith, the Hariyama, the Landorus Incarnates, the Mega Scizor, the Latias, and the Tapu Koko. Pretty much what I expected him to bring. I didn't think he was going to bring the Stoutland, even though I prepped for the speed of it. I didn't think he was going to bring it too much, just because he would need a lot of moves on it to take out my whole team to sweep with it. I just couldn't see the Stoutland coming. And he didn't bring the Mantine. I thought Mantine might come, potentially, but then looking at this team, this is the most likely team he had. So these are definitely the Pokemon I was expecting more than anything else, especially that Gigalith. I was expecting him to just go for to get Sand up and then potentially go into a Landorus, which I expected to be physical, which would put a lot of work on my team. Landorus physical with maybe Psychic or something along those lines would put in a real shift against my team. Everything else I pretty much expected. Hariyama was definitely coming, Koko was definitely coming, and so was Latias and Mega Scizor. So that was the team. As you can see on the thing, he starts off with the Gigalith and I start off with the Aromatisse, which is pretty much exactly what I wanted. As soon as I saw he brought Gigalith and this team that looked like it focused on sand, my initial start was going to be Aromatisse. Even if he started off with the Hariyama, I was just going to hard switch out into the Starmie and force him out and get an analytic boosted Hydro Pump off on anything. If he started off with the Lando, I would have taken that chance to set up my screens as well. If he started off with the Scizor, I probably would have gone into the... I don't know, I might have gone into the Seismitoad on that one. I might have gone onto the Seismitoad on Scizor. If he started off on Latias, I definitely would have stayed in, and Tapu Koko stayed in as well. So I had a fairly decent chance to get my screens up this week just by starting with the Aromatisse. I could set him up on pretty much 4 out of 6 of his Pokemon fairly safely. So let's play the battle, and whenever it starts playing, I shall start talking about it, because I've just clicked play and don't know when it starts. Probably 10 seconds in? That's usually what most people do. I don't record these battles by myself anymore because of things. I can't update my recording capture card. So now we're battling Alex, and needless to say, I'm quite nervous for this battle. Like I said, Alex beat me twice before, so he kind of has my number. I do start off with my Aromatisse, as per plan, bringing Cavity. She's so beautiful. As he does start off with Dehydrate, which is the shiny Gigalith. Shiny Gigalith doesn't mean much, but I notice he doesn't have the sand, so it's not a sand team. I do go for the Magic Coat turn 1, expecting him to go for the rocks, so I can just bounce him back straight away, as he goes for the Toxic, which is really damn good, because that breaks his Sturdy as well. Because the only way I had of breaking his Sturdy would be click Endeavour. But now that he's Toxic, it breaks his Sturdy, and means Salamence can kill him, come in and kill him easily later on, or anything kill him later on without having to worry about Sturdy. This time I clicked the Reflect. I probably should have clicked the Magic Coat again on that turn, expecting him to go for Rocks or even Toxic again. Because I just didn't... I thought he might attack that turn, but thinking back on it now after the battle, if I'd clicked Magic Coat again that turn, it would have made more sense, because he definitely wanted to get a Toxic off on this Aromatisse to wear it down. Or he wanted to get Rocks up for my Salamence that I had as well, and force possibly a spin from Starmie, maybe expecting me to have spin on Starmie this week. So Magic Coat would have been perfect there. I pretty much would have lost nothing going for it. As he goes for the Toxic, so now my Aromatisse is Toxic. I could have got an extra turn of Toxic on the Gigalith, but it doesn't matter too much that I'm badly poisoned. Like I said, this is a suicide lead Aromatisse. And with the fact I have Endeavour, being Toxic actually helps me, because then after I set up my light screen now, I can just keep clicking Endeavour until I die, and it's going to do more and more damage each time without him having to attack me, which is pretty good. He does switch out of the Gigalith now and go straight out into the Tapu Koko. That's no problem with me, as I have my Reflect up. So this turn I do take my... this turn, I do take my opportunity to set up my light screen too. So I have both my screens up, just like I wanted, and now I need something to kill Aromatisse pretty much. I am starting to take some Toxic damage. He probably expects me to switch out here, trying to preserve this Aromatisse, not knowing that it is a suicide lead one. He does go for the U-turn. Smart of him to not have the Volt Switch, because I do have the Seismitoad, which would be an obvious switch to bring in on the Koko to stop the Volt Switch every time. He does a U-turn out into the Scizor here, just regular Scizor for now, not Mega, as I reveal that I do have Endeavour. That's not going to do too much, as I do have a lot of HP investment, and he probably doesn't have much at all, but now the Toxic's starting to wear up, I'm going to be damaging anything quite a bit. He is going to Mega Evolve here, and I did think he is potentially going to set up a Sword Dance, but with this being my quote-unquote suicide lead Aromatisse, I didn't mind too much if he did have Sword Dance, but he is going to take this opportunity to set up an Agility, which makes me think that he is a Baton Pass Scizor, so now or Baton Pass Mega Scizor, which makes me definitely want to stay in to click Endeavour on anything that's going to come in, just so it has some damage on it. He is going to Baton Pass as predicted, and he's going to pass that +2 speed into the Hariyama, which is Adam Sandler. I am going to click Endeavour again. Like I said, I'm just waiting for this Toxic to take me down. I still have 2 turns on both my screens, so I'm not too bothered by it. Toxic will kill me before the screens wear off. The fact my Endeavour knocked him down to about 35% there is amazing, by the way, because he had a Figgy Berry, or one of those berries that gives you 50% health back when you're in 25% range. So the fact that I only knocked him down to 35% there is clutch, because I didn't activate his berry. I'm down to 7%. I'm down to 7 health here. He clicks Knock Off to kill me. I was clicking Endeavour that turn again. So Cavity goes down. I could have potentially switched out that turn, but it didn't really matter too much. The Lightning Terrain goes away. Now I bring in my Salamence. I still have my screens up, so this is my perfect opportunity to get my Dragon Dance up like I wanted. He does click Iron Head on my Salamence, which tells me he does not have Ice Punch. He would have definitely clicked Ice Punch if he had it. So I get my Dragon Dance up for free, as one would say, and I know I can get another one up now because he doesn't have Ice Punch pretty much. So I get 2 Dragon Dances up, and now my Salamence is looking pretty good as he goes for the Close Combat, which is also not going to do too much since the screen is still up, or the Reflect was still up, I believe. I think it was still up that turn? Yeah, the Reflect just wore off, so I still have one more turn of light screen. So the 2 Dragon Dances there were fairly certain I was getting them up. I do click the Dragon Claw, which is enough to take out the Hariyama, so that puts me at +3 attack and +2 speed with Salamence. This is what Salamence is supposed to do as the light screen goes off. Not too worried about the light screen goes off. He brings in P-Holler, the Landorus. Even if it's Scarfed, I'm outspeeding it. I click Dragon Claw, and he goes down to the Dragon Claw. If he was Focus Sash, he probably would have killed me there with Stone Edge, because he was a physical Landorus. But at that point, Gigalith had taken damage, Landorus would have taken a lot of damage, and Scizor would have taken some damage, so I feel like I could have brought in Starmie there fairly for free, or fairly easily. He's going to switch out from the Latias into the Tapu Koko, getting the electric terrain back up, and goes out into to take the Dragon Claw, and now Alex just plays the switching game. Yeah. So here he realises he could just switch back and forth between Latias and Tapu Koko, as my two ways of hitting them are Dragon Claw, which Tapu Koko is immune to, and Earthquake, which Latias is immune to. So he can just keep on switching back and forth to PP stall me, which is great, which I fall for a lot. I get in my head a lot with this one. Yeah, just like Yu-Gi-Oh! With magical hats, pretty much. So I'm going to click Earthquake on the Tapu Koko, Latias comes back in. I do just think to myself, I have 16 Earthquakes left and over 20 Dragon Claws left, so I'm not going to get the prediction wrong 35 turns in a row, which is my general thought with that. The electric terrain goes away. Tapu Koko is in, Tapu Koko is going to switch out, he goes back out into the Latias, which is his redemption, which is what he's going to need from me after putting me through this hell. I go for Earthquake again, not too bothered. I go for the Dragon Claw. Going for Dragon Claw on the Latias is fairly safe. It's safer than going for Dragon Claw on the Tapu Koko, expecting the Latias to come out, because it's more chance of him having Dazzling Gleam on Tapu Koko than there is on him having Draco on the Latias, I feel. But I do click Fire Fang next time the Tapu Koko's in, so I do guaranteed damage on the Latias. Now, it's not loads of damage, it's only 40%, but now I've put some damage on Latias. And now that I've introduced a third move into the equation, it has to make him think, as I'm going to pause it as Koko's right there. So before, when it was just Dragon Claw and Earthquake, he could have just kept on switching around knowing he was pretty safe. Now that Fire Fang is in on it as well, it has to make him sweat a little bit, because now he can't just switch into Latias for free. Whenever Koko is in, I have the opportunity to hurt Latias or kill Latias, and he can only let Latias take one more Fire Fang. After that, I can kill it with Fire Fang and then he's pretty much done. So now that there's a third move in on it, that puts the switching mind games in my favour, as I now have a 2 in 3 chance of putting damage on one of his Pokemon or killing his Pokemon. I do click the Dragon Claw for the Latias as Tapu Koko comes in, and this time I click the Earthquake, predicting him to stay in because he knows I have the Fire Fang, and down goes Tapu Koko, and the mind games are over. The mind games are over as Tapu Koko goes down to a +3 Earthquake. Salamence now reaches +4. No, Salamence now reaches +5, sorry, it's +5 now. Gigalith is going to come in. Here I could have clicked my Groundium Z move, but I just clicked the Dragon Claw because I thought to myself I can just kill Gigalith with Dragon Claw, to be honest, and Dragon Claw hits everything on his team. I didn't really want to have him switch into Latias on an Earthquake again. So the Dragon Claw worked out for me there as Latias comes in, and Salamence reaches its full potential by hitting +6, which is fantastic. In comes Kha'Zix, the Mega Scizor. Mega Scizor is not taking a Dragon Claw from this range, or an Earthquake from this range even. Or it might have taken it, I doubt it would have taken a Dragon Claw and +6. Mega Scizor goes down to the Earthquake. He only has the Gigalith left, and just to show that I do have the Groundium Z, as the Gigalith comes in, I go for my Ground Z move, making me, I think, 100% on Z moves for actually using them. I don't think I've brought a Z move once and not used it. I don't think so. No, I don't think I've brought a Z move once and not used it. Apart from week 2 when I brought 2 Z moves, but that doesn't really count. Tectonic Rage is going to take out the Gigalith, and we are going to get a win! We are going to have a 5-0 win over Alex, and Tommy, the Dragonzord Salamence, picks up 6 kills, gets the Salamence sweep that we know Salamances can do. So I'm so happy I beat Alex. I'm glad. Thank you, Alex, for the battle. My plan just worked. I came in with the plan of set up screens and Salamence to punch walls, and then Salamence done so much more and punched all the walls and broke them all down. That battle could have gone easily either way, really. that battle could have easily gone either way. If he passed the speed off into the Lando instead of the Hariyama, then I wouldn't have been able to go out into Salamence at that point, because he could have killed me with a Stone Edge potentially, or got a crit. So I would have had to think about which one I actually wanted to do. Probably would have had to take the chance of going to Starmie instead. Yeah, it could have gone. It easily could have been different depending on who he passed that baton pass speed into, or if he even had Ice Punch on the Hariyama over Iron Head. There are so many different things, but I feel like we just prepped. The prep this week was amazing, so once again shout out to Djar for helping with that, and the plan just worked perfectly. So that puts us now at 4-2, I believe. That puts us at 4-2. So hopefully next week we can get another win. Next week we are facing RTK, who is right at the top of the table with us. I'm pretty sure he is on 4-2 as well now. Can't wait to see. I can't wait to do that battle. I'm going to be a bag of nerves. Thank you for Alex for that battle again. If you want to see Alex's side of the battle and his thoughts for the Pokemon he brought, or his thoughts during the battle, his link's in the description below. Once again, thank you for watching. I love you all very much, and come back next week to see your West Shan United team hopefully pick up another W. Love you all very much. Take care. Mwah. Bye bye.